Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be addressing a very important question from one of our viewers. So Gabriel Elena, who asked, how can we find reliable scholarships, especially now that we're hearing about kidnapping issues? This is a very critical issue. So we have to discuss this issue because it's literally an issue that many people are facing. And in this episode, I'm just going to look at three things that you should consider. First of all, how can you identify legitimate and safe scholarship opportunities? And the second thing that I'm also going to cover is how can you avoid scholarship scams, and this could include fraud and potential physical danger. And number three, basically, what are the steps can you take if you have found yourself in an unfortunate situation where you are a victim? So I'll take some time to break this down so that you're able to follow this particular process. And this is basically at the end of the day to ensure that you are safe, you're able to have access to reliable opportunities. So when it comes to scholarships, especially those that involve travel, verification is very important. And I can't emphasize this enough, because you need to find opportunities that are real and that are trustworthy. And these are some of the things you have to do. The first thing is make sure that you check official government sources, because these sources will usually include the reliable information. You can find these sources from the Ministry of Education, from your government, scholarship boards, and also study abroad programs. If the program is real, it's usually going to be listed on an official government website or any of these channels that I've just mentioned. The second is make sure that you check with embassies and consular websites, because these are likely going to be posting this information. So information about Chevening, Fulbright, and Commonwealth is going to be found on this particular channel. If it's not on this particular channel, it's something that is just prompting you to further investigate, because this might be an indication it may be a potential scam. The third thing is to go straight to the official websites of the university, because most of the opportunities are going to be put on university channels. And if you don't find that information on university channels, again, and that information is only found in random WhatsApp group, that could potentially be an indication that there's something which is amiss. Another place that is also worth checking out are international organizations. Organizations like UNESCO, the African Union, the European Union. They are likely going to be listing these opportunities on their websites. The key thing with all these things that I've shared with you is to ensure that the information that you are looking for is found on official websites. If this information is not found on official channels, this might be an indication that this might be a potential scam, or it's an issue that is worth looking into. Now, let's talk about warning signs for scholarship scams that you have to be able to pay attention to. The number one is payment requests. Usually, scams are going to ask you for a processing fee, a registration fee, or some form of upfront payment, which is information that real scholarships are not going to be asking for. So if they ask you for money, it is usually an indication that it might be a potential scam. The second thing is the channels that they use to communicate, because legitimate institutions will usually use an official email address. This is never a Gmail or a Yahoo account or WhatsApp only communication. If you have received information that is in this particular category, it may be a potential risk. So take a step back and start to think about it. There is no verifiable address, which is the third thing. There has to be a verifiable address for the institution. So when you check, there is no verifiable address on their website, on their channels, there are no stuff that are listed on their website. Again, it might potentially indicate that there's something which is amiss. Number four is usually pressure tactics. Scammers will usually use pressure tactics to ensure that people are able to make a quick decision. So things like, you only have 24 hours to take an action, keep this information secret, don't involve anyone else. These are usually indications that there is something that is really amiss, because they want you to do things in a rush, so that by the time you're figuring out, you have actually been scammed. And the last one is unverified travel invitations. Genuine scholarships will usually provide a lot of information, and this could be an official admission letter, a verified visa instructions document, and other sorts of documentation. If this information has not been sent to you and you're being pressured to travel, this again is an indication that something is just not right. So pay particular attention to these things that I've just raised. Now, getting to safety concerns about kidnapping and high-risk situations, it is very important to understand that while most scams are going to be asking for money, it's true that in some regions, people are not asking for money, and the people are actually pretending to be study abroad agents, they're pretending to be facilitators or scholarship representatives. And it is therefore important that you have to be able to pay attention, because the idea behind it is to trick victims into dangerous situation. Something that is also worth understanding is that while most scams are financial, it's true that in some regions, criminals have also pretended to be different things. So some have pretended to be study abroad agents, visa facilitators, or scholarship representatives of certain official scholarships. And the idea is usually to trick people like you, people like me, to be victims. So there are certain essential safety practices that we also are supposed to take to ensure that we don't fall into this particular category. The first thing is never attend interviews in isolated or private places. Always insist that you use official offices, schools, or embassy grounds, because this is going to be useful for you. Number two, never give your passport or original documents to anyone except verified institutions or embassies. And number three, find a way of always telling a trusted friend, a trusted person, where are you going, who you are meeting, and what time you expected to return. And when in doubt, always contact the embassy of the country that is offering the scholarship or the institution. They can easily confirm this particular information. So the last thing is, if you or someone you know, now they have been involved in a suspicious scholarship, which happens, there's things that you're supposed to take. And I'm going to talk about what things that experts have recommended. The first thing is, if you're in an immediate danger, it is important that you call emergency services right away. The second thing is, you have to be able to stop communicating with the scammers. Don't send them money if they're going to be asking for money from you. Don't meet them if they're going to make a request to have a meeting with you. Don't follow new instructions. If they have given you any instruction, you have to stop. The third thing is to ensure that the authorities are made aware. So report to the police, the country cyber unit, or any embassy that's involved. Because when you report, it prevents other people from becoming victims from the same scammers. The other thing is, it is always important to seek support. Find a way of talking to your family, a school, a counselor, or a verified education advisor. You don't have to handle all these things by yourself. And the last thing is also to protect your information. So if you shared sensitive details, find a way of changing your password, enable two-factor authentication, and also alert the bank as soon as possible if anything involved some form of financial transaction. So to wrap it up, here are a few things that you should take into account. Number one, verify official websites. Number two, never pay money. Always check physical addresses. And that is very important. Trust your instincts. Most of the times your instincts are right. And put your safety first always. I would say this, no scholarship opportunity, no matter how exciting, is worth risking your life for. If you found this video very useful, please like it, share it with someone who needs this information, and leave your questions in the comment section. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next episode.